facing writer's block, not on my watch. So say you do this and you have these topics, and say you choose futurism and emerging trends. So I could do this. And then with all these topics, let's say I choose space tourism and colonization. So I could do that and say, create a book outline. You could actually start with this, and this will kill your writer's block. But what you can also do is, if you're having trouble getting something out of, say, the introduction stages, you could then say, for example, so basically what I just did was I had ChatGPT come out with the niches to write a book in. Then I had it come with topics. Then I had it use an outline for whatever topic chosen. And then if you pause this and read through it, this is actually a pretty decent introduction. And, you could start off with this certainly. And I would advise to proofread it, see if it's to your standard. And yeah, so that's kind of how you could basically go from having no ideas to actually having a pretty decent foundation for a book. And of course, you can do this not just for the introduction, but for each and every section that came out of this outline here. Just so you know, the book I referenced, in case you're interested, is this. So you might find this an interesting read. Okay, more miscellaneous stuff now. So what if, say, I want to go on a trip? So if you're wondering what you could see when going on a trip, you got this. So yeah, you got Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, Notre Dame, and other famous places. Let's say I want to lose weight and I'm at a rut right now. So I feed ChatGPT this. And maybe some of you're trying to lose weight, but you might not know, how to get to the finish line, so to speak. So you see ChatGPT come up with this. And so you see, recommendations for consulting experts, diet, eating, and then, stuff we generally know. But then you might be asking me, well, Noah, I want to know in particular how to have a good diet. So you look at this and you don't know before, but then after you type in this question, now you're like, okay, I want to know this in detail. So then you could say, for example, this. Because maybe, there's a lot of weird stuff out there as far as recommendations. Some recommendations might be correct, some might not be, like as far as carbs and cholesterol. But this gives you a practical perspective based on all the data accumulated by ChatGPT all the way up to 2021. And so, yeah, you got all this. I will go over one. Breakfast, okay, Greek yogurt, mixed berries, sprinkled granola, sounds good. Toast, avocado, okay, good stuff. Chicken breast salad. Ooh, sliced apples with dusting of cinnamon. And then you got a nice snack here. Ooh, okay, I would not have come up with this. And then for dinner, you got broccoli with salmon. Wow, this is interesting stuff. Okay. But yeah, you get the idea here. Now, I have not forgotten about you productivity folks who want to know how to be as productive as possible. So I think, okay, how do I be productive as a student or as a worker? And then, of course, good old 80-20 rule to get the most out of it. Oh, and in case some of you might not know, the 80-20 rule is basically when you have the 80% of the success of what you're doing is based on 20% of the effort. And so you basically want to be maximizing whatever that 20% is, because that is what is the most effective stuff. And so right here, you have, say you're working in a 9-to-5 job, it says identify the 20% of tasks that maximize with 80% of the job's outcomes, and then talks about time management, communication, and then, yeah, so that 20% of learning that yields 80% of the knowledge, of course. And then what if you want to maximize as a college student? Well, you want to look at the 20% of study materials contributing to 80% of the academic performance. And then, you got time blocking, 20% of effective note-taking contributing to 80% of the outcome. And then, this is just utilization. I remember for when proof searching this on ChatGPT before making this video, that for the 9-to-5 job, focusing on the communication with those people, that 20% of people that yield 80% of the benefits. So it applies to communication also. It didn't list it this time, but I'm pretty sure if I listed the particulars and pressed it a little bit, it would do that as well. So that's just a little bit about maximizing productivity as a college student or worker. Now, this is my favorite stuff. You want some expert knowledge, right? But you don't want to pay money for it. or you don't want to analyze every little thing on the internet. That's just waste time. We all want to save as much time as possible. Time's the one thing we don't get back. Cliche, cliche. So I propose, what if we want an expert to give us an opinion about traveling? We all know Rick Steves. So we do this. And what I'm basically saying is I'm telling it to be Rick Steves and give me a itinerary for the foolproof traveler wanting to get the most out of Paris in a week. And so we will see what it shows. So what you got is day one. Okay, leisurely stroll along the Seine River. Ooh, picturesque views. Notre Dame. And okay, Latin Quarter. Art and history, day two. Charming neighborhoods, And then, let's see, day 6, you got, charming village. Seine River cruise? Wow. Okay, I might do that next time I go to Paris. And then you got all this nice stuff. And then, oh yeah, I would definitely dig that one. Okay, yeah, good stuff. So, what if instead I were to act as someone in need of help? Someone to tell me that everything's going to be okay. I'm saying this. And so maybe you're going through a tough time and you want the right thing to be said to you, something that might help you go through with whatever you may be coping with. And though it's not human, it at least attempts to empathize. And so I think, maybe read a little bit of this. And yeah, I think this is some good stuff. And it even shows some resources here. So yeah, I hope you found this unique perspective useful. And lastly, if say you want to use, it's called an act as template, where you basically input, so this is the template right here. If you want to pause and take note of this or screenshot it, you can use this on basically anything you want advice in. So say you want startup advice and you want an expert opinion on starting a business, whatever concern you have regarding whatever specific aspect of it that you're trying to hone or understand, you put that here. And then whatever corresponding question you have, you list that here. And so you could basically adapt this to whatever need you may have. I hope you found this useful. Ciao.